You want to go to Alaska, but how do you plan for such a big trip? Perhaps a once-in-a-lifetime trip. We want to share with you today some of the things that we did as we prepared to leave for Alaska. Hello, fellow adventurers. Today I wanted to share with you how we're planning our trip to Alaska for the summer of 23. It all started back in 2019 when I retired. We were going to go in 2020. But as we all know, COVID hit and that didn't happen. So as many of you, we had to postpone that trip. In 21, we thought it was still too difficult to get through Canada, so we decided to take a 4-month trip out west. We had the time of our lives and we went to over 14 national parks. It was amazing. In 22, we had our 4th grandbaby, so we decided to stay close to home. So this is the year. Today, I hope to share with you some of the things that I've learned from some of you, as well as some of the resources that we used in our planning. A must-have for every Alaskan traveler is the milepost. This has been the Bible of the North Country travel since 1949. This provides you with a mile-by-mile or kilometer-by-kilometer of highway logs, including where to get fuel, where to have rest areas, where there are stops, and anything interesting in those cities. It also provides you with draft itineraries that you might want to consider for your trip. This is a must for anyone going to Alaska. Second on the list, but actually my favorite, is The Traveler's Guide to Alaskan Camping by Mike and Terry Church. Mike is actually a native of Anchorage, Alaska, and they write in quite detail all of the information you will need to camp in Alaska, where to see the wildlife, where to visit, and it's actually very well written and easy to read, so I highly recommend. Next on our list is a good old paper map. Nothing beats that. I understand as we'll be traveling, we may not have cell service or internet, so these will prove to be invaluable. It's also important to stop along the way at the visitor centers and pick up your local maps. Speaking of locals, next on the list is reaching out to the Chamber of Commerce of some of the larger cities that you hope to visit. They will send you a detailed travel brochure, and it's free. Nothing to lose there. Next is social media. There is such a wealth of information out there, whether it be on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. Just put in Alaska 2023 and you'd be amazed at the amount of information. And why reinvent the wheel? Learn from those who have gone before us and steal shamelessly. Lastly, our favorite apps for planning our trip to Alaska. My go-to is RV Parky. This is now a paid subscription of $20 a year, but it provides you with a detailed map and route of where you're going. It also estimates your fuel cost and your miles that you'll be traveling. In addition to that, we use Campendium, Public Lands, United States Forest Services, and Wikicomp for finding campgrounds or places to boondock, and then iOverlander to find propane, dump stations. So all of these apps are invaluable as you make your way to Alaska. I want to take a few minutes and talk about personal planning. We all think that everything is going to go fine, but we know that in this life, things happen. So just want to make sure that you have all of this considered as you plan your 4 to 6 month trip. First things first, complete all your doctor appointments. It seems like there's just an array of maintenance type of doctor appointments. Make sure those are all completed. As a registered nurse, I would recommend that you also have a summarized medical record that you keep. And again, this is high level. What are the illnesses that you have? What are the medications that you take? Who are the doctors that you see for this? I would keep it not only in your written rig, but there's a place on, I know for iPhones, that you can keep emergency contacts as well as your emergency medical information. And I think that would be invaluable for some folks. For me, I'm not of Medicare age yet, so I have to pay health benefits. So I'm making sure that I pay all of those up front. I don't want those to lapse while I'm out of the country. You also want to make sure that you're covered in Canada for your medical health insurance. So again, call your specific insurance provider and ask. Same things with prescription drugs. I found out with our carrier for our medical insurance that we actually have a 1 time a year, 6-month, where we can get supply of our medications. So we'll be picking those up next week, but you'll need to check with your insurance to see if you're allowed to do that. Also, you'll need to make sure that you have your vehicle registration and insurance cards for your rig. It's amazing the number of people that apparently go across the border and they're either in a rig that's not theirs or they don't have that information, and that could stop you from getting across to Canada. One of the things that I didn't think was going to be an issue, but it turned out to be a huge issue, is our credit card expired in the middle of our trip. So I wanted to get it early. I had to talk to 3 different people, including the boss's boss, to have this approved. We did get our updated credit card, and now it doesn't expire till 27, but I was surprised how difficult that was to do. So think about what kind of cash or cards you'll be using along the way. And then finally, the 2 fun things, if you will, make sure your passports are up to date. And now that my husband is 62, we were actually able to get the lifetime America the Beautiful pass, so we could save some money along the way at different campgrounds, but more importantly, we can get into all the national parks. Hope that helps you, and good planning. Last but not least, you want to prepare for your fur babies. For Harley, we have her up-to-date health records, her up-to-date rabies and vaccination. We also are bringing along her proof of purchase. And then finally, she'll be receiving her 30-day pet health certificate before we leave. In our next video, we will share our rig preparation. But in the meantime, remember to scatter your sunshine along the way and hit the subscribe button if you liked this video. Have a great day.